I remember Trump saying at the press conference when pressed about the DEI hires having something to do with the crash.
Right.
He said, well, of course, because I have common sense. Did you hear that?
That's like saying the Klan have common sense. It's like saying David Duke.
Common sense.
Yeah, David Duke has common sense. Kanye West has common sense. Nick Fuentes has common sense. And anybody else that puts on a white hood has common sense. If that's the kind of common sense that Donald Trump was talking about, then I agree with him. If you're a Klan member, you have common sense. If that's a code word for common sense, then I agree with Donald Trump.
Exactly. Fox News has blood on their hands.
Yes, they do, for a lot of different reasons.
A couple of years ago, they got fined $750 million.
Yeah.
Mostly because of Tucker Carlson.
Yep.
That was just a slap on the wrist.
You're right.
So what do? They replaced Tucker with Laura Ingraham.
Ugh.
Has she done any better?
She is an evil. Let me be very clear so all my MAGA friends can hear me. Laura Ingraham is an evil, racist witch. Shut up and dribble. But then when she has a white supremacist on her show that happens to be a musician, that's totally okay with her. But if you're black, shut up and dribble. They talk DEI hires every day. They attack brown people every day before Nipsey Hussle was even buried. And I guarantee you, Laura Ingraham didn't even know who he was. She was ripping his lyrics when the man was murdered. I mean, this is who Laura Ingraham is. She is a despicable, awful human being. So is Sean Hannity. And Jesse Waters is an embarrassment to the network. Judge Jeanine is a lush. She is a joke. I know I'm missing probably others, but
Mark
Levin, who does a weekly show there, he's just as terrible to look at as he is to listen to. That 4-foot-tall imbecile, Mark Levin, will never interview somebody that he disagrees with because he's a coward. He will only coddle the right-wingers because he's a moron, and he plays himself out to be this very intelligent constitutionist. Are you a liberal? But yet he doesn't even have the wherewithal or the intelligence to actually debate somebody. If I'm wrong, MAGA, tell me, when was the last time Mark Levin interviewed a Democrat? When was the last time Mark Levin interviewed a liberal? He doesn't, because he's a coward and he's not so smart like some of you imbeciles think he is. He's not.
The only real light on that show is that Jessica
Tarlov is great. She's fantastic.
Yeah, she's great.
I don't know how
I love her.
People call me every day and they say, how do you put up with all these MAGAs? I would ask her the same question. How do you sit at that table and sit with a bunch of imbeciles? Because that's what she does.
I don't know.
She is so intelligent and so articulate, and I got to get her on the show. A couple of friends of mine that know her say, you got to get her on the show. So we're going to get Jessica on the show.
Great.
I promise you we're going to get Jessica on the show, my friend. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, David Pacman is confirmed. David Pacman has reached out to me. He emailed me. Hopefully, I'll be doing his show as well. But David Pacman's going to be doing our show. We already have a date planned. It's going to be in February. So I'm really looking forward to having David Pacman join us. He's another one that I think is great.
Well, it was heartbreaking, when they showed all the young kids that died and everything.
Yes, it
and
is.
then I started to watch Trump's conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I was starting to give him credit because he was acting somber, right? And then all of a sudden he started playing the blame game, and I had to turn him off.
Yeah.
But it also reminded me of when before the pandemic, and he got rid of all the experts, and then we had over 1 million people die.
Yeah.
He has no empathy for anybody.
Do you remember? Do you remember, sir? Don Lemon said it first segment today. During I think Don Lemon said it, during COVID, when he said, well, we just have to, it is what it is. Remember when he made those statements, and when after kids were gunned down in their schools, Donald Trump says, well, they have to get over it. This isn't just one statement that he makes after a tragedy. The man has no empathy. He buries ex-wives on the first hole of his golf course. The man has no empathy. He is probably one of the, I don't even know how to put it into words. Did you look at the makeup he was wearing yesterday? How mentally ill this man is? Like, I try not to make fun of people's appearances, but this is the guy who makes fun of everybody else. Did you see the cake that he put? I mean, he looked like he was in the morgue. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest. He looked like the clown that he is. And by the way, I'm sorry if I'm being offensive to clowns out there. The guy puts on all this makeup. He looks ridiculous. And yet they're the ones attacking transgenders. I mean, I'm like,
Well,
I don't get it.
One thing I can't understand is he's an old man. He's
the
and
oldest.
People, millionaires and billionaires are afraid of him.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
The guy's never been in a physical altercation in his entire life. He's had
Yes, he was.
He's had
He fought Vince McMahon.
yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Touche. That's a good point, my friend. But that's the only Donald Trump that Donald Trump has been in, because he's always been a phony his entire life. That was a fake fight, just like Donald Trump with his fake teeth, just like Donald Trump with his fake makeup, with all of his fake tanning and his 4 hair transplants. Donald Trump is a fake, and that's the way he's lived his life, just like in a fake wrestling fight.